Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dr.Z NFT Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Gazer, co-creator of the Dr. Zammsy franchise, and I'm joined today here with my buddy, 3D artist, amazing podcaster, Gordon Neal.
Jack of
How
all
are you
trades.
doing today? You jack of all trades. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, buddy. I'm doing well. Yeah,
Good.
we're getting towards spring, or at least it's round the corner. So I've been doing a few things in the back garden, try to get it ready for the better weather. I say better
That's
weather for
wonderful.
us. It's different from you guys in California. Like we don't have anything. You're in the sunshine state. We're like I think our warm is like 18 degrees Celsius. I don't even know what that is in Fahrenheit, but like yeah, you guys have crazy.
Let me ask you this:
Yeah.
Is there frost on the ground every single morning?
No, I mean, well, mostly in winter, yeah, but then it depends on. I mean, we can sometimes get down to like -1, -2, but in winter, yeah, I know. But then in spring, it's like 3 or 4 degrees. Still cold, but like not as
Wow.
ridiculous it could be. Although I was
Wow.
talking, I did an interview for my podcast not too long ago, and I was talking to a guy who worked in LA at Riot Games, and he was saying that like California's cool, but then like when every day's sunshine, even that
You
starts to
get
get.
sick of it.
Yeah, you want a bit of rain, a
Yeah.
bit of wind, a bit of change. So yeah.
I've grown up in California my whole life, Northern
Mhm.
California my whole life,
Mhm.
and I'll say climate change, whether you believe it or not,
Mhm.
is real. I do think. I mean,
Mhm.
just in my lifetime living up here in Northern California, it used
Mhm.
to rain consistently in the wintertime.
Right.
At least 3, maybe 4 times a month.
Mhm.
And now we get like these super storms that come and
Yeah.
just completely dump for like a day, and
Like floods.
then you go 3, yeah, and it floods, and then you go
Mhm.
3 months with no rain, and then
Just
a
sun.
couple sprinkles here and there. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been watering my garden
Mhm.
with a hose,
Yeah.
through January, February, and
'Cause
March,
everything's
and that's
dying.
so weird. It's so weird. That's
I
just
know.
never happened.
I mean, you've got the
Yeah.
extreme now because everything's so dry. This is why you guys get the forest fires as well now, because
Get the
there's
forest
no
fires.
moisture. Yeah.
I think we're going to be in a terrible drought. I even
Mhm.
read that Lake Powell, Arizona, which feeds the Hoover Dam, I believe,
Mhm.
uh, it's at such an exceptionally low
Mhm.
state that they almost are in a place where it won't produce power anymore for most of the western
Mm.
states. So
Shit.
they said
That's
that's
big.
coming in the next month. So I don't
Mhm.
know what's going to happen there. Geez,
Yeah.
we're gonna be building
The
wood
world.
fires in the backyard just to keep your family warm.
I know, pretty much. Yeah, we're the same
Yeah.
now, obviously, with what's going on right now, and the oil prices are all kind of firing up, and same with the gas, and
Hmm.
like, we got an estimate again for the gas prices, and oh my god, like it's just it's even
I
worth.
drive around my small humble town here, and
Mhm.
everyone's got these giant diesel trucks, and they're all going for sale in their driveway now. And
Yeah,
it's I think
can't
it's
afford
really
to run them.
reactionary because I
Yeah,
don't
yeah, yeah.
think the gas prices are going to last for like this forever,
I hope no.
especially during especially during election season
Mhm.
coming up in the next year or so. I
Mhm.
do think you
It'll be a
know
ploy maybe to get it down to
yeah, they'll figure it out. Otherwise, they're not
yeah,
going to
yeah.
get the vote.
Of course, of course, of course. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
But anyway, let's
Anyways,
talk about NFTs, man.
Zammsy. Yeah, NFTs and
Yeah,
Zammsy. Yeah.
lots going on as always, but particularly this week has been a really fascinating week so far. It's Wednesday, March 16th, and I'm happy to report that a lot of things we've been working on for a long time to try and get excitement and eyeballs on the project externally is really kind of clicking into place.
Mhm.
We 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 got a lot of we've basically been trying really hard to get a venture capital or get some studio interested in our project that can help fuel the concept, fuel the ideas that we're doing.
Mhm.
Obviously, we're making a lot of money here and there when we can through NFTs,
Mhm.
but it's not a singular solution for maintaining our projects and our development, right?
Yeah.
So we've been looking for venture capital, and people that we've been talking with for a long time kind of decided to back out. But at the same day, I learned that
Mhm.
like 2 other major venture capitalists in the gaming space that help fund Discord asked for our pitch
Mhm.
and our business plan. We
Yeah.
finished our business plan. We worked on it super hard last week.
Mhm.
Um, It's phenomenal. It's been edited by other people. It was written by Rolf and I. It's got a ton of information in there, and so anyway, we sent that in the VC pitch to a bunch of different firms, and they're reviewing it right now, and they're actually really excited. Another really cool thing is a company which I think we've mentioned on this podcast called Dark Slope. They're based out of Toronto. They are like a VR gaming motion capture control company, and they make games as well. They've also partnered with Epic Games, some big box studios to help their projects. And one of the directors on that team, through our writer Matt Lyon, showed extreme interest in the project for when we sent him the series pitch. And so yesterday I had a meeting with him, and I gave him the whole spiel on what we're doing, the whole world, all the potential, and he was totally blown away. He loved the designs of the characters. They said they were great for gaming, low points for non-collision, which is a problem if you get some bulky character. Sometimes the points collide a lot, and he's seeing that as a problem with some other projects he's on. He's like, oh, that wouldn't be a problem. And he's like, I'm sold. I'm sold at the world. I'm sold that this could be a VR experience. And so he's got a meeting with his executives tomorrow, and he's going to be pitching them to get their interest. And then I think that will evolve. So that's really cool. That would be an idea where we'd have, our VR game, our card game that we would be producing internally. And then it would be something like Dark Soap would be making their own VR game that would not be related to play to earn. And I proposed to him the idea of sharing assets back and forth during production. He was like, oh, that sounds actually really good. That could save costs of a lot of things. So it's really interesting. We'll keep you guys updated on that development.
See where it goes. Yeah.
I got great response from Animal Logic. They helped. They helped make League of Legends DC Super Pets, a movie that I helped concept before I got into the NFT business. And my art director, she's put me in touch with someone in the development side. So we're currently in emails back and forth, and I'm about to send her the pitch. So that's exciting. So we're just sending this anywhere and everywhere to gain interest.
Yep.
And Star Wars, man, George Lucas, he got declined, I think, hundreds of times before a studio finally said yes to his crazy idea.
For Fox got them.
Yeah.
Disney passed on that one.
Regretted it.
Yeah, that's it, definitely. And then like 80 years later, bought them back. So
I know. Yeah. I mean, if there's one thing I've learned throughout my whole career is just you get back up again, try again. Yeah. You don't just sit in a leather chair or a wicker chair or whatever on a deck and
I mean, I think there's an understanding even with set 3. Like if it does well enough, there's probably enough there to fund a little bit of the game to keep it going along. It's not that we're going to rely wholly on VC. It just takes the pressure off financially. But I mean, there is, if set 3 does well, there is an avenue where we could self-fund for so long, and give us a little more breathing room. So
I mean, set 3, we were planning on launching March 15th. I think that was yesterday originally. But if you want a great product and you want it to sell well, you got to do it right. And so we're just taking our time on this, and it's looking kind of nostalgic at this point because our first launch was in April of 2021. And so it looks like our next set 3 is going to launch right where it all began, the same month. So I do apologize for any of you fans that are patiently waiting. It's just going to be a little longer, but it's looking more now like April, the early April. We're still finalizing some animations from John Helms. Rolf is being challenged with a whole new set that's got 25 different cards. I think our first set had like 5 original cards.
Right.
So understand, and we had like something like 5 or 6 packs that converted those 5 original cards into different variants. Now we've got 2 packs with 25 cards. So it's a total reversal in terms of how to figure out the structuring for that. So he's taking his time. He wants to get it right, and I've been seeing some of the data come in, and it's making a lot of sense. But it's a daunting task. So cheers to Rolf for taking that on.
Yep, as always, he's our guy in NFT. As always, battling that on. But yeah, it should be. Even guys who have said that it's one of these things where pushed out and it's pushed out, but it's the nature of the beast, especially with COVID, especially with the games industry, especially with the way things are working in the NFT space. Goalposts continually move. Really, so we've got to try and keep up with that as well. And like Matt says, it's something that we've never done where. There's loads of cards that are animated. There's ones that we've drawn from scratch and also outsourced. So there's other different variants of that. And, the effort level is maximized. Like we're putting everything in this really to make sure it works well. So when it does launch, it will be, a collection like we've never done before. But then, of course, stuff like that, it takes time.
It is. It's our largest set yet. And it's really exciting. And we've had a lot of hurdles. Like we had to create our demo in order to get it whitelisted again so we could promote on Atomic Hub.
Yep.
Atomic Hub doesn't like NEFTY blocks, and we use NEFTY blocks, so we're finding ways to work around that. It's just every day there's a new challenge, and you have to try and overcome that. So, just a disclaimer: Rolf is not here this week because his kids are on spring break, and
he's busy.
He couldn't make it, so he's busy.
Busy being a dad.
But he'll be back up and running tomorrow, which is really exciting. Got so much stuff to tell him.
Nothing fun like when Matt went to Disneyland.
Yes, I know. I can only take 2 days of Disneyland, but I cheer on those people that can stay for a week, sometimes even longer.
Yeah, I'm sure Tiff and your kid were enjoying it.
Oh yeah. I mean, I love it. It's just large crowds and constant stimulation. It's
you just need your sketchbook and a cup of tea. That's usually you, or a coffee.
Yeah, exactly. So, but in other news, what else do we got? Well, Turning Red came out. I got a glimpse of it from my daughter watching it, but you saw it all the way through. What did you think?
It's incredible. It was really well done. It's typical of Pixar, especially, to really throw in the tearjerkers near the end. But then it's a lot of things that really matter to you in most of those films that come into, the thing, like family, growing up, changing of direction, of age, of it's really about a young Asian woman who is 13 at the time, but she's trying to step into womanhood. And her mum is, like most, I suppose, parents or mums at that time, is quite controlling, kind of tells her what to do all the time, and she wants to get her mum's approval, so she's always constantly trying harder to get it. But she kind of, not to spoil it, but she basically starts to figure out her own life and what her life could be away from her family, away from her mother. And I know there's a giant red panda involved that also gets involved. So she's got this legacy within the family, and this is part of her family's tradition as well, is turning into this big red panda. But you find out why in the movie and how that plays into her family and then generations back and how they've all handled it. But it's just basically a coming of age story, and it's told up in Toronto, Canada as well. So it's
gauging on what my daughter said. She's like, "Dad, it's everything I'm going through right now," because she's 11. She's like, "It's so I can relate so well to this," and it's really cute. I think that's a testament to the success of the story and how it relates to kids, man, growing up. So it's tough, really tough.
Yeah, the writer and director basically said it was a lot of her experience growing up as an Asian woman in Canada at the time with her parents and how she tackled all that. So, but you write what you know, right? So you write stuff that you feel like you went through yourself or somebody other can relate to. And sometimes you write those stories and think, is it really going to relate? Is it really going to hit home? But then it's always surprising, I think, when you write that stuff, how many people it does affect, how people have went through the same thing but never really talked about it. But when it's on a big screen in the cinema, kids can even look at it and be like, oh yeah, I'm going through that right now. Because even like there's a whole thing in the movie where they're basically trying to follow this boy band that are coming to Toronto, and they're trying to raise money to get tickets. And they're all like screaming and like wide-eyed and stuff. And I'm like, 13-year-old girls, it seems about right. So there's a whole thing in there if kids are watching it, like, oh yeah, like, because it's the band's very like BTS or like any other band right now that's big, over here for teenage girls. So nice. A lot of relatability. But the animation and the art style, luckily I've got really some people, friends of friends who worked on it, and they've been posting stuff on Instagram, like the Viz Dev stuff they've been doing for.
I've been seeing that too on my side. It's looks phenomenal. I can't wait to actually get. This is one movie where I'll definitely want to get the Art of book.
The
for
book,
sure.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
launching 31st of March this month, so I've
that's
pre-ordered
great.
it. But I definitely, as soon as I saw the film, I was like, wow, because the whole
Yeah.
idea of where they Toronto, where they live with the school district, but also the kind of Chinatown part where they kind of live, really well done. It reminds me a lot of that San Francisco they made for Big Hero 6. You know, the one
Oh yeah, of course.
with the robot. Yeah,
Mhm.
similar
That
kind
was
of
really
thing.
well done.
Yeah, that also. Yeah, so
Yeah. If you haven't seen
yeah,
that movie,
I
check
did.
it
I
out.
did love it. So, based on a Marvel book that was Big Hero 6, it was a comic for years and years, and then they made it into that. But they
Of
changed a
course,
lot of it. Yeah,
everything with Marvel is a success. I don't think there's
yeah, of course.
one movie where you're like, oh, that's not good at all. You know.
Well, there was a trailer came out yesterday, I think, for Miss Marvel that just launched.
Oh, I got to see that.
Yeah, it looks really interesting. It's, I mean, based off what, because I played, there was an Avengers video game that Square Enix done, I think a few years back, and Miss Marvel was in it, and the story was kind of revolving around her becoming a superhero and finding the Avengers and stuff. But her power is that she inflates her limbs, kind of like Mr. Fantastic and Fantastic Four, and can punch.
No
But they've
way.
changed it in the TV series, so it's like the fists and stuff are like, it's like illusions or something she projects, like kind of like figments.
Interesting.
But she's a young Indian woman growing up in America, and she kind of finds her powers by accident, and it's a whole thing of how she wraps into that universe. So that's also like a coming in
Okay.
age thing as well. So
Interesting.
but it should be good also because there's not a lot of Indian descent superheroes in the Marvel universe right now. So
Yeah, I'm noticing there's a lot more diversity in movie making these days, especially in Disney films and in Marvel films, picking a particular ethnicity and then propagating that as the main focus rather than like a side element, which I think is really good. You know, like I think you know, the world of Wakanda, you know, in the Black Panther, I think that was it called Black Panther? Oh my gosh, do I remember?
Yeah,
What's
yeah,
the
yeah.
name?
So the film, Black Panther,
Yeah. I mean, it's great. A perfect example of picking a culture and totally, you know, wrapping an entire world around that, which is really cool.
It's good to see something on screen that represents you, because then you feel like, I mean, I talked to a costume designer now who worked on Black Panther, and he, when he was younger, took roles in LA to do some part-time stuff, doing extra work and acting and stuff. But then a lot of the stuff when he got of age, to like 17, 18, all the roles were like shoplifters or robbers or like guys who beat people up, and that was the only roles for Black
I
Americans
know.
at the time.
I know.
So he
It's
kind of
just
left it,
weird.
and obviously when he got a chance to work on Black Panther, he was like, oh yeah, like, and then he sees the difference now of like how the roles are changing and shifting in diversity. So it was the same with the Spider-Man animated one, the Into the Spider-Verse, where it was like all the different kids, but then Miles is it Miles Jones, one of like
I
the
think
main
so.
characters for the black kid basically who plays Spider-Man. His Miles
Nice.
Morales, that's his name.
Oh
And
yes.
so that was a
Fantastic
whole hit as
director. Oh
well.
my gosh.
Again, yeah, really, really good
Anything he
film.
ever does in the future, I'm 100% sitting in the movie seat
Is
for
that
that.
the either French and or Spanish guy, Miguel? Oh, I forget the guy's name who directed
You're
it. There was
so
two,
good with memory on names, brother.
I know there was two guys who worked on that, and I've met them at THU before, and if it was those guys I'm thinking of, there's incredible.
Yeah.
Like, they also worked on Love, Death, and Robots, a couple of episodes of that as well. So
Oh, cool.
yeah,
Maybe.
So
I've got a really cool pitch for Love, Death, and Robots. I tried to get into Netflix to pitch it, but it didn't go very far. But it's there. If anyone wants to see it, you know, let me know.
It's Tim Miller, I think, directed that, wasn't it? The whole thing.
The whole thing.
He oversaw. Everybody done their own kind of thing, but he oversaw the whole.
I see.
The whole
Just
thing.
the ecosystem of crafting
the whole.
Yeah. And then your buddies over at Axis Studios or Axis Studios,
Axis. Yes.
Yeah, they're neck deep in their developments. Correct.
They're taking more stuff on now, as far as I've been told, towards TV. I think they've stepped away more from game trailer stuff, as far as I know. The last thing they worked on,
production.
Yeah, because I think the last thing they worked on CG-wise for games was they done the Halo cinematics for Halo Infinite, which just launched, and the Diablo 2 remaster for Blizzard. They done cinematics for that as well. But yeah, they've done a ton. But they've done TV for long enough as well. They used to do, or they still do probably, with the VFX house. They've done the Red Dwarf series for BBC, and Doctor Who, a bunch of stuff on Doctor Who as well.
Wow.
They've done. When I was back there, even back then, they were starting to work with Riot a lot, doing stuff for League of Legends. So
If they don't work for us on something we're doing, I definitely want to do some work for them because
Yeah,
John
they get the cool
Benson,
projects. Yeah,
oh
they do.
man, yeah, your art director friend there.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
John's a big fan of you, actually. I remember mentioning your name back in 2016, 2017 when I was there, that I knew you. And
uh-huh.
he was like, holy shit, you know Matt Gazer? I was like,
Oh,
yeah,
really?
yeah,
That's
yeah,
funny.
yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
John's a massive fan of your work. He really loves
well, I'm
you.
a
But
fan
like
of
you said, half
his.
the time he's got in touch with you, you've always been busy or it's not really lined up or
Yeah, we've tried back and forth over the years to work together, and it's
Mhm.
just the timing wasn't right. But
Yeah, yeah,
that's the
yeah.
way it goes.
Yeah.
Just want to let everyone know too that if you haven't seen, go to our announcements channel in our Discord server for
Mhm.
Dr. Zammsy. We posted this week a great interview with Matt Zahib from Crypto News,
Mhm.
and I'd say it's one of our best interviews we've ever done. We really get into the meat of where the industry for NFTs is going and just
Mhm.
entertainment in general, crypto.
Mhm.
But we touch on a lot of really great topics that are really relevant to what's going on right now.
Yep.
So highly recommend you checking that out.
Mhm.
Again, that's in our announcements channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, so lots going on, man. We're like we've said before in previous weeks. We're kind of in this hibernation mode where we're just trying to get set 3 out, and
Mhm.
we got a lot of great documents. We've got our VC pitch, we've got a business plan, we've got our animated series pitch. Like, these are huge documents that took a lot of time to develop, and they're done now. So now we're
Mhm.
in this phase of just trying to show the world that we're out here and that we're prepped and ready to do this.
Yeah.
So I think in the coming weeks and months, we're going to really see some really interesting opportunities, come to fruition. That's the hope. So
Yeah, I mean, people even
yeah,
say the thing in the Discord. You can see it where they're talking about, things are taking a while, but at the same time, it's only really been a month since we kind of went into hibernation and started to take meetings and aim for VC and stuff. So
right.
I mean, sometimes these things can take like 6 months to a year. It just depends on the firm because anybody who invests in you, money is money. You don't just want to throw it against the wall and hope it sticks. You want to hope that the guys you're backing are a safe bet. So yeah,
Yeah,
there's a whole
I
thing.
mean, our team is all star, and the team that we could build, with capital could be even more all star. We have
Yeah,
a laundry list of people at our fingertips that,
yeah.
these people are super talented, and but it costs money to hire them, and it costs
Mm.
a lot more to develop everything. So, and we've invested so much this past year I mean, we literally, like we keep saying, every penny has gone into developing Dr. Zammsy into an amazing multi-platform project.
Yeah.
Um, so now that has been mostly exhausted, it's time to either have another surefire hit with set 3 or
Mm.
someone else pay for the party.
Yep.
So something's got to click. But
Someone pick up the tab. Yeah.
yeah, but we're still pushing forward. We're not giving up, not
Yes.
by any means. I
Mhm.
mean, I've been taking freelance on and off throughout the
Mhm.
whole year. I mean,
Mhm.
not to the level of the detriment of our project, but
Mhm.
something comes up that's easy. It only takes a few days. Maybe a poster, maybe a cover to a book or something.
Mhm.
I'll just I'll take that on, and
Keep the
I'm
wheels
still doing
turning.
that a little bit, but
Mm.
um, it's mainly just the Daydream Festival. I'm working
Yeah.
on the poster for that, and it's been
Mm.
a lot of fun and
But that's still
partnering
quite a
with.
big project as well because they've been a big client for the last couple of years. So
They have, yeah, and they're doing this new model now where instead of having these gigantic, 80,000 people venue with a
mm.
huge stage, they're doing a more boutique. It's called Daydream Boutique,
Mhm.
and they're picking the island of Holbox in the Yucatan Peninsula for their
Mhm.
first smaller event, where they
Mhm.
take over an entire resort. And there's just a really intimate experience with a bunch of famous DJs
Yeah.
on a smaller stage.
Yeah. There's
Um,
going to be a couple of NFT people as well. It's kind of like there's a lot of those people are going to go
yeah,
into
it's
that as well.
actually a huge crypto push for this because
Mhm.
they're advertising to a lot of people in Florida
Mhm.
in that EDM,
Mhm.
crypto, digital
Mhm.
marketing kind of arena. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I may try and get out there. I believe it's going to launch in June.
Mhm.
So I
Yeah.
made sure in my contract I could get some
Free
perks out of
tickets and
that.
stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
It'll be a good month to travel anyway, about horror and stuff. I have a
yeah,
vacation, so yeah.
and no masks, which would be nice. Hopefully.
We can only fucking pray.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, here in California right now, and at least in Northern California, there's no mask wearing inside or anywhere. It's that mandate has dropped,
Has the
including at
cases,
my kids' school. They don't have to wear masks anymore.
but are the cases still going up, or what? Or do you know what's happening with the numbers?
Things are really leveling out, to be honest.
Mm.
Yeah, there's no worries
Bikes and
anymore.
stuff.
Things are
Yeah.
really kind of starting to go back to normal.
Yeah, we've kind of been the same. We especially in the UK, down in London, they kind of done away with the mandate about 2 weeks ago, just for the war broke out actually. But then they, I think, are panicking a little bit just now because cases are spiking again.
Mm.
So they might bring the masks back in at least, but I think other things might be fine. Like I don't think you have to self-isolate anymore. But in Scotland, I think we're having to be pushing the mask mandate a bit further out, a couple of more weeks till they see what the numbers do up here, because they've had another spike and they're just checking that it's not going to keep going up. It will maybe level again. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I totally respect what everyone has to do to feel safe. That's important, you know.
yeah, it's difficult.
So
Even once
yeah.
the illusion that it's gone forever, I think people will still kind of like tiptoe back outside. I've got a wedding on Sunday. One of my cousins is getting married, my dad's sister's kid, and I say kids, Ross is he's late 20s, but yeah, like they're getting married on Sunday, and I think there's going to be about 100 people there, so it'll be the first big event I think I've been to since lockdown. So
Wow.
see how that goes,
Well,
but yeah.
if you went to Disneyland like I did, which was really interesting,
Mm-hmm.
almost no one was wearing masks. There was
Oh
literally
wow,
thousands and thousands and thousands of people,
yeah,
all on rides,
mm-hmm.
all normal. It was like normal life, you
Yeah,
know.
just
And
work as
I'm happy
usual.
to report I came back and I didn't get COVID. So
Yeah, yeah, no,
uh,
yeah. I mean, you've had it
yeah,
this many times, and it's probably just getting bored of you, man.
turning
It's like,
into a
gazer,
superhuman.
yeah, you just fly again, yeah.
No, but not to get political or anything,
Mhm,
but I
mhm.
totally respect everyone's decision. And,
Yep,
some people know people that have died from it and everything. And
mhm,
that's really, really scary. And,
yep,
you know, uh, fortunately for me, it was, a backache and I lost, taste in my mouth. But
mhm,
it was kind of nice, actually. I got it last summer during the Summer Olympics. So I just sat
mhm.
in bed for 3 days and watched the Olympics until I recovered. It's perfect timing. Thanks, COVID,
Yeah,
for landing it on the Olympics.
yeah.
Now, this round for Olympics, I didn't watch it at all.
Mhm. Oh, and they're
I
in
don't know.
China, yeah,
I love
yeah,
the Winter Olympics a lot. I don't know. I guess I was just really busy, but
yeah.
there was a lot of controversy around that. China and
Well, the
I
whole
don't
thing
know,
with Russia just now, as well, is the
and then
fact that
Russia. Yeah, it's all this
people think
build
that
up.
somebody said that apparently Vladimir had said to China that, or China had said to him that if he could hold off the invasion until the Olympics were finished, so it wouldn't take over the.
Isn't that crazy? I
Yeah, I
know.
know that would be crazy if that was true. I mean, who knows? I
If it
mean,
was, who knows?
yeah,
I've
yeah,
never.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody's got any facts at this point. But yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I am a conspiracy theorist, but who knows?
You're white, man. That's
Uh,
what happens.
I mean, I do
But
listen to UFO podcasts,
yeah,
so,
yeah, yeah.
but
Good to
for
have a
fun.
good to have a bit of questioning about your life, but then not to the point where like everything's death. Everything's like you kind of leave the house because you're so scared of everything. Like you go down that rabbit hole too far, and you just start to like you're like, oh god, what's the point? I mean, like
I
yeah,
know I've got
mm,
friends in my neighborhood that are very extroverted,
mhm,
very adventurous, and they're
mhm,
always traveling, always going
mhm,
out. I see
mhm,
their car driving by my house all the time, and then here I
mhm.
am grinding on my Cintiq, painting and stuff. And I had a nice evening with them
Mhm,
last Friday, and they were like, "Matt, what's gotten into you, man? You
mhm.
just don't leave the house anymore." And I'm like, "Well, it's not COVID. I swear. It's like I'm just trying so hard to make this Dr. Zammsy thing work that I'm,
Work, yeah.
like." And I had to lay it all out, and they actually understood me. They
Mm.
were like, "Oh, totally, I get it."
Life of
We just
a
want old
creator.
geezer back.
Oh
We're
yeah,
going
yeah,
out all the time and doing fun things, and I'll
yeah,
get there, but just got to make sure that this company's off the ground.
yeah.
So
We've
I mean, it
invested.
is off the ground. It's just
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah.
it just needs to seriously go into the stratosphere.
Matt and Rolf have invested way too much money in this to walk away from it at this point. It's
Yeah,
just too much invested. Yeah.
but venture capitalists, man, I've never seen so many opportunities. So I'm
Mhm.
really excited about what's coming. It's going to be
Yeah.
fun. Yeah.
Defo.
All right. Well, let's wrap this up. Everyone, thanks so much for chiming in this or listening in on this week, and we'll get back at you guys next week. And
Yep.
Rolf will be back on the table talking with us. So enjoy the rest of your week, and everyone take care. And all things Dr. Zammsy, man.
Yeah.
Enjoy. All right.
Defo.
Peace
See you
out.
later, guys. Bye.